Hey guys, this is Claudia from the Bookkeeping Experts. Today we're going to answer the question from Amelia. She put a comment on YouTube and she wanted me to cover banking, and that's exactly what we're going to do today. All right, so here we go. With QuickBooks Online, one of the greatest benefits is that all the transactions will automatically flow from your bank. However, you still have to categorize, and that's what we're going to talk about. Remember that we will be working, we're going to go straight into QuickBooks Online, and we're going to be working into the accounting view. You can always change that. Just click on the gear menu and change it back and forth. I like this view here, but if you have the business view, that's okay. You still can work from there. Same thing. All right, so first of all, if you are on the accounting view, you want to click on banking. If it is business view, it says transaction, or you can have like the icons, right? And you click on the banking from the icon. All right, so clicking on banking here we have the sample company transactions coming through. And one thing that Amelia asked is, when do I know when it's a loan, how to categorize as a loan? When do I know how to categorize as an expense? And when do I know how to categorize as a transfer? Okay, now when I have multiple accounts here, a transfer means that the money is coming from this account to this account. The one thing that I am going to verify, for instance, for money that says transfers in QuickBooks, we don't have any here, but let's suppose this one here was a transfer for $55. The one thing that I do in order to know if this is correct, I am going to take a look at the date here, and I'm going to go to the account that I think it's going to go. And if I find that transaction for the same amount, I know it's a transfer, and I'm going to click here and record as a transfer into that account. Another way for you to use transfers is to transfer, let's suppose that this transaction was an owner's investment, something that is not coming from the business. It's maybe, I don't know, maybe you just deposit somebody on your account to invest in your business. Okay, if that's the case, you can record as a transfer, and we're going to call it owner's investment. Oh, okay, this is a sample account, so we're going to take a look here. It's an equity account. There it is. We don't have it here, so if we don't have it here, we can add new, and it's an equity account, and partner contribution, and save and close. Okay, so I can transfer to partner contribution, and that would be great. You can transfer, or you can recategorize. Either one is the same. There is actually no difference. The only difference is that if it is categorized instead of recorded as a transfer, you'll be able to make changes easier from the register. But either way would be fine, because basically what I'm saying is that I'm taking the money out of the bank account and putting into an equity account, and that's fine. You can do that. So you can transfer into other banks, you can transfer into credit card, and you can transfer into equity accounts. Equity accounts were like owner's investments, personal payment, or personal expense, or pay, or owner's draw, which is the same thing, or even transfer into a liability account. You can actually transfer into a liability account, or you can categorize as well. So what's the difference? It's just a process. So let's suppose this is a transfer, but I'm going just to categorize. So I'm going to put here, I don't know, I'm just going to select a name here, Diego's Body Shop. And this is going to be, oh, actually, if it is my money that I'm putting, then we are going to put the name, my own name, as as the vendor. You can do that. Okay. Putting myself as a vendor, and here distribution. Owners, distribution. No, sorry. We're gonna have to click on the box here and go to that account that I just created. Partner contribution. There you go. All right. I don't have to put a customer in here because a customer is if I am accruing an expense in behalf of a customer. But that's not the case. This is just partner contribution. If I record it like this, is the same thing as recording as a transfer and just putting into partner contribution. There's absolutely no difference. It does the same thing. So you can do either or because you're transferring from your bank account into an equity account, or if it's another bank account or liability account, you can do it as a transfer or categorize. No difference. Now, if it is a loan, same thing. You can click on categorize, and let's suppose you're paying a loan, bank something, no, Fidelity. Okay, there you go. And then I will choose the liability that I'm paying into, right? So loan payable. There you go. Now keep in mind when you're recording this payment, make sure that this loan, that you have recorded the loan balance originally. If not, you're going to have a negative amount in loan, which means you're paying more than what you own in a loan. Okay, so like I said, you can categorize, put Fidelity, loan payable, and add it this way by categorizing, or you can record as a transfer as well to loan payable because this is a liability account. So the only one that I cannot record as a transfer is if it is an expense or a deposit. That one you can't, right? Except if you're transferring from the bank account or the cash account into the bank account. For instance, let's suppose that this money was actually cash, and I'm taking out of the petty cash and depositing in the bank. So you can record as a transfer as well because cash account is a bank account. So you can do that as well. So I hope that's clear. So once again, you can record by clicking on categorize, and you always put the name of the vendor, and then you choose the category. You can, and you can record as a liability account, loan payable, or you can put an equity account or whatever. And this does the exact same work as if you recorded as a transfer into owners. This contribution, partner contribution. Okay, so it's the same thing as if I was to categorize Claudia Patrick and did that ever happen to you? Which account again? Okay, contribution. There you go. Okay, for a minute my brain just floop. But it's back now. Contribution. So either way is fine. You can record either way, Amber, and it should be fine because those are accounts that can record as a transfer or categorization. Okay, a few other things you can do in banking is obviously creating those rules, especially for the expenditures. Now, I would not add rules to income if you have invoice in your system because there is a workflow for that. Remember, income, you should have an invoice, record the payment in the invoice, send it to undeposited funds, and then record the deposit and match it in banking. So there's a process for that. And if, keep in mind, I have more videos on that. So feel free to take a look at those videos as well. But I would not create rules for income unless you never, ever ever create invoice in your system, and all the income that is coming has no fees. That is just pure income, maybe ACH from a specific client and never send an invoice, they just send payment to you, then it's okay to create a rule. Now keep in mind, if you have integration, when the integration comes, it's sending sales receipt, is sending invoices and deposits. So you don't want to create any rules for those income either. It's the only reason you would create a rule for an income is, one, you know exactly where it's coming from, and two, there's no invoice entered in the system. If not, you're duplicating everything and you're messing your income statement big time, your profit and loss, right? And increasing your tax liability. You don't want that. All right. But for expenses, once again, if you enter bills, you don't want to you want to make sure you match them to the bill payment. So you got to be careful with that as well. But if you don't have it, if you don't enter any bill and you know exactly what those transactions are for each month, especially like the ongoing expenses, like, you know, rent expense. Now, keep in mind, if it is check, never create a rule for check and ACH either, because QuickBooks cannot read that. By the way, I can put the link to the rules video down below so you can watch that into more details. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Banking with QuickBooks Online is really simple. So keep in mind that those transactions are coming through, but only when you actually accept them or match them is when they are gonna go into your books. When you're matching transactions, make sure you are only matching them to either a bill payment, a check, or a deposit, not to a payment, because when you match to a payment, there is a possibility of mistakes in there, because all payments should be going to undeposited funds and then record the deposit into the bank account. That's how you're secure that you're not forgetting a check that a customer sent to you. So I had customers actually that when we cleaned out their books, we found out that there are payments sitting on undeposited funds that were never deposited. And one of them was because there was a problem with the point of sale system that actually didn't process the deposit into the bank. So a client called their POS system, where is my money? So that's why we sent it to undeposited funds. I had other customer who actually put the check somewhere in the drawer and forgot about it. So they recorded the payment, they sent it to undeposited funds, but they never deposited in the bank and never recorded deposit because it never happened. So when we clean out all the financials, we ended up with those undeposited funds, and they found out, oh my goodness, I forgot to deposit the check. So you don't want that. So that's why there is a process into QuickBooks Online to make sure that every single transaction is accounted for. That's why we reconcile as well. So everything just comes together. All right, so I hope you like this video. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I am so happy to be able to hear from you. So if you have comments, if you like it, give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel. We like to come back to you quite often with updates on QuickBooks Online on a frequent basis. So if you want to stay up to date, subscribe to our channel, and we'll go and reach out to you. And if you write us a note and you let us know what you want us to cover, we'll make sure that we'll cover. Thanks again, Amelia, for watching. I hope that this answered your question and the question of many other of our customers. And until next time, keep on smiling.